Hi guys, welcome to Yaya's Simple Living. So we have a lot of baking that we're going to be doing today, which is perfect for the upcoming holidays. So the first thing we're going to do, my brother is having a dinner party tonight and he asked me if I could make him a couple dozen dinner rolls for his dinner party. So I'm going to make a copycat recipe of the Texas Roadhouse rolls. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scald 2 cups of milk. So you can either scald this in a saucepan over low to medium heat, or you can do it in your microwave. So if you're going to do it in your microwave, what you want to do is you want to put it in a microwave safe bowl. You want to put a chopstick in the milk because that's going to keep the milk from boiling over in your microwave. And you want to heat it up in 30-second intervals until it reaches between 180 and 185 degrees. Then what you're going to do is let it cool down to about 105 to 110 degrees. And that's going to make the rolls really light and fluffy and soft. So let me get started on this and then we will go on to the next step. So the reason that you want to scald your milk when you're making bread is because there's a protein in the milk that affects the gluten in bread. So you want to break up that protein, and by scalding the milk you can break up the protein. So I'm just going to use a meat thermometer, you can use a candy thermometer to measure the temperature of the milk. Okay, so while our milk is cooling down, we've already scalded it and now we're letting it cool down. We're going to add half a cup of warm water, and to that we are going to add 4 teaspoons of dry active yeast, and a teaspoon of sugar. So what the sugar is going to do is it's going to give those yeast bacteria something to munch on while it's blooming. So let me just stir all this up, get everything incorporated. And then we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. And then we'll go on to the next step. So let me just get this all mixed in. Okay. Okay, so now that our yeast is nice and foamy, we're going to add this to the bowl of a stand mixer. Let me just make sure I get all of it in there. All right, and we're going to add our scalded milk. And we're going to add another half cup of sugar. And we're going to blend all that up. Would help if I plugged in my mixer. Just want to make sure that gets all mixed up. Okay, and now we are going to add some of our flour. So the total amount of flour that this recipe takes is anywhere between 7 and 8 cups of flour. So we're going to add 1 cup to this mixture, and what we were looking for is the consistency of like a pancake batter. So let me get my... All right. So I'm going to start with 1 cup, mix that in. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more, probably not a full cup this time. But I'm going to measure out a full cup so that I can keep track of how many cups I have here. So about half of that. this is going to do is this is also going to help hydrate our flour while we add, since we're adding it gradually, it gives that flour a little bit of opportunity to hydrate so we don't put too much flour in our rolls, because that's going to make the rolls really dense, and we want super light and fluffy rolls. Okay, so this is the consistency we're looking for. Let me bring you guys over here to show you. Well, let me bring the bowl to you. And we still have some lumps of flour in there, but that's about the consistency we are looking for. And it's okay if there's still some lumps of flour in there, because those are going to get worked in when we add everything else. So let me put my dough hook back on here. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to add is 3 tablespoons of melted butter. We're going to add 2 eggs, which are room temperature eggs. And I'm cracking my eggs in a separate bowl because these are farm fresh eggs and you never know, so you don't want to put your eggs in there and have a bad egg go in there and ruin everything. So, and we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm using Redmond's Real Salt. It still has the minerals and everything else in it. So we're going to mix this up. Here's our 3rd cup, and remember, we're doing between 7 and 8 cups. But we don't want to add too much. So depending on what the weather is like, if you live in a really humid environment, you may have to add more flour. If you live in a really dry environment, you may have to add less flour. It just depends. Baking is a lot of science, a lot of chemistry, and you got to look at the weather. Until each cup is incorporated, and I may have to stop periodically and scrape the side of the bowl down. And you know what? I'm going to move all this so that I can move this closer to you guys. Let me move all my stuff out of the way here real quick. Okay, so I've added, at this point, 6 cups of flour. So I'm going to let this get all mixed in and everything, because a lot of times people think they need more flour, when in actuality what they need is more kneading time. And you can always add more flour, but you can't take flour out once it's in there. So I'm going to go ahead with my 6 cups here, because my recipe calls for 7 to 8. I'm going to do 6 cups. I'm going to knead this for a while, see how the dough is, and then if I have to add more, I can add more. And I'll show you what consistency I'm looking for when I get there. So you see how this is sticking a little bit to my hand still? So I'm gonna go ahead and knead it some more. Perfect. All right, so look here. When I push down on it, I can pull it away. It's very soft, but my hand comes away clean. So that's all the flour I'm gonna use. So we've used about 6.5 cups. I'm not gonna use any more flour on it. Now I'm gonna let it knead for about 4 to 5 minutes. 4 to 5, not 45, 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we have let our dough knead. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Bowl scraper here. Okay, let me take the bowl off here because I think it'll be easier to show you guys. Running out of workspace here. Okay. I'm going to show you how beautiful our dough is. If I can get a hold of the bowl. There you are. Okay. Set that aside. Where's our... Alright. So, it's a very nice, soft dough. It might feel a little bit sticky, but see how nothing's really sticking to my hands when I pull away? So my hands are sticking, but nothing's pulling to my hands. So we're gonna wrap this up into a really tight ball because we want some tension on the top of it. Okay, we have our greased bowl here, and we're going to do both sides. And actually, I think I need a bigger bowl because this is gonna double in size, and that bowl's not gonna be big enough. So let me get this bowl out. Just extra dishes, no worries. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I have a bread proofing setting on my oven. If you don't have a bread proofing setting on your oven though, you can just place it in the warmest place in your house. Okay, so let me get this covered up. We're gonna get it in proofing, and it's gonna proof until it's doubled in size. It's gonna be about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. All right, guys. I think our dough has doubled in size. Definitely. So we are going to start shaping our dough. All right, so let me put, well, first, my favorite part. Punch all the air out of it. All right, so I'm punching all the air out. My battery went dead in the middle of that, so let me get my dough out of here. And I'm just gonna roll it up into a ball. So you can do this one of two ways. You can roll this out, cut it into strips, and cut it into squares and make square rolls, or you can do what I'm going to do and make round rolls and just roll it into balls. But in order to do that, I want to make sure that all of them are even. So all of the dinner rolls are even. So this recipe makes 36. So I have, let me do math on my calculator here. I have 1,787 grams, and I'm going to divide that by 36. So each of my rolls is going to be about 49 grams. Okay. That's too much. Too much. Okay. So they're all going to be about this size. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to just roll them. Okay. Try and make it as evenly as possible. Make it tight on the top. I want it as smooth as possible on the top so that they're nice and pretty. So I'm going to continue shaping these, and then I'll bring you back to show you what we're going to do next. All right, so here's our rolls. Apparently my measurements were off because I made 30, oh, I guess it did make 36, not 32, so I should have fit 18 on each, but I can't fit 18. I'm going to have to get another tray, but here's what they look like. We're going to cover them with plastic so they don't dry out. Maybe. Alright. And we're going to put these back and let them proof some more till they double in size, about another 45 minutes.
So I'm not sure what happened. For some reason, my camera did not record when the rolls were done rising for the second time and I put them in the oven to bake. But once your rolls are doubled in size, you want to bake them for 10 to 15 minutes in a 350-degree oven until they are golden brown. When they come out of the oven, you want to immediately brush them with some butter. This is going to not only add wonderful flavor, but it's also going to make your rolls soft. And then if you make these ahead of time and you want to reheat them, you can reheat them in a 250-degree oven for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that'll make it just like they were baked fresh. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Your family is going to love these rolls if you make them for the holidays. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please share this video with your friends. It will really help my channel grow. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up in YouTube, which is a like. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, go ahead and hit that bell icon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.